Are we all set?
And Jone's phone's changed anyway.
Alright. Okay, right. Thank you everyone for turning up today. Just here to sort of do the final press conference for Conquest. The theme really is kind of international boxing, I suppose. We've got a number of international opponents on the bill. You know, I think it's getting harder and harder to get decent level fights and fights that are going to sort of challenge the lads. So we've got a number of international opponents in the lineup shortly. Obviously, the show is here at Gateshead Leisure Centre on June the 25th. Doors will open at 6:30, so obviously come in and we'll be looking to probably kickstart around about 7:30. Just as a bit of a caveat, one of the things that we've managed to agree is a deal with a large TV company who are going to be working with us on a reality TV show. It's all a bit left field and a bit strange, and I can't really give a lot of details as of yet, but that'll come out after the show. But there is going to be a reality TV show filming. It's going to be here at 7:30, and it will air on Sky One in the coming weeks. So that's exciting for us. It's something totally different and something that again adds to the entertainment and the madness that is trying to run a professional boxing show. So you know, pleased with the British Boxing Board of Control, because putting the letter into them was a strange one, and just pleased that they've helped us and agreed to support that. And obviously, again, delighted that we've got Made Television covering the show. 2 60-minute broadcasts. The first one will be the main title fight, which will be Peter and Abdon Caesar, and then we'll have the undercard and highlights from the undercard as well. So yeah, excellent night of boxing. You know, big event at 7:30. Get yourselves in early, get a seat at 7:30 and find out what it's all about, and come and witness it. And you never know, you might also be on camera as well. So what I'll do is I'll run through the lineup and then just sort of talk to some of the lads, and obviously I'll let Ronnie do a little bit on some of the fighting chance lads as well. We've got Gary Fox boxing James Gorman over 4-3s. Delighted to have Gary back on the bill. Gary couldn't be here today. He's away in Manchester with Neil, so unfortunately he couldn't make the press conference. But the boys boxing's had 32 contests. He rarely gets stopped, and he's been in with some good opponents, James Adolphi, Nathan Dale. So you know, he'll be a challenge for Gary, and something that we're looking forward to seeing Gary get back on and hopefully get that win. We also have Lee Mould boxing on the bill. Obviously, as people are aware, Lee was due to box for a British Challenge belt against Trevor Crew. Trevor Crew broke his thumb, so that fight has been rescheduled for September. So looking forward to getting that on on one of our shows in September, and you know, that'll be something that we can look forward to. So in the meantime, we've agreed that he's going to do 4-3s. We looked at some local opponents, but we just couldn't make any of them work in time. There wasn't really enough time for people to obviously take that fight. So we've had to go down that sort of route, which both Mal and Lee are in agreement with. So he boxes Fons Alexander. He's had 39 contests. Again, been in with some good lads. He's boxed Darren Tetley and went the distance over 6-3. So again, interesting to see what that contest brings. We've then got Mark White against Simas Volosinas. I think that's how you say it, Ronnie, isn't it?
Volosinas.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to touch a little bit on that one, Ronnie.
Well, just to say a big thank you for Lewis for pulling this together, because I know how much hard work he's put into it. It's been a one of those where it's really tough. There's been a couple of disappointments, but as far as the fighting chance boxers are concerned, they've all got tough opposition on the day. You know, me and Gary discussed it, and we got offered these opponents in a normal situation. Would be looking at it, and we've looked at this, and they've all got tough fights. They all they're there for the team. We believe that the lads have the ability, and they need to start stepping up. So that's where we're coming from. So I'm looking for this to be, you know, in my mind, a really exciting show. Mark's got same as Valinas. He's had 53 bouts. Lithuanian. He's been in with, without a doubt, some of the best. He's boxed Martin J. Ward, English champion Romero, Isaac Lowe, Lewis Ritson. He's also been in with Kid Galahad, and you know, he got stopped late on, but that's the level of opponent he's been in with. So he's not coming here as somebody without any experience or whatever. And when I went through his record, it's a tough one to, you know, it's a one to take, and we're gonna learn from this, and but we're gonna have to be on our mettle to win this bout. There's no doubt about that. Then we've got Jimmy Jones v Dievadis Sajuga, another Lithuanian who's had 29 contests. Jamie's only coming into his second contest. You know, I know Jamie, if I ask him to take on anybody, take on a world champion, because he's that way inclined, like, which is a great asset to have, and we've got to, you know, look to him for that. But you know, we believe he can win this contest again. It's another tough one. He's been in with some very, very good opponents, and we're just, you know, it's been hard for Jamie. He's been having to do night shifts. He's, you know, he's got a young child there, and it's very, very tough. But he's knuckled down. He's done the work, and I think he's in absolutely great shape. So I'm looking for something special for Jamie on this show. Then we've got TK, the Brown Bomber. As such, he's boxing Jan Zadira. He's a Czech. Jan's had one bout, and he's won that one. So on this one, somebody who's got to go. Again, we've had a look at him. And he's boxed some very, very good opponents. I checked his amateur record, he's been up there and amongst it. So again, another tough fight, a great fight for the belt. The fighting chance fighters, we've made a decision that, you know, that we're gonna go for it, and we'll take people on. You know, we're not gonna look for padded records and this and the other. Next one, newcomer for us, Kyle Redfearn. Kyle, he's another one with the family coming on there, and these will be able to speak on it themselves later on. Another one, Kyle. I said to Kyle, I normally speak to the lads and discuss opponent and this and the other, and he says, just get me somebody and I'll fight him. That'll do for me. He doesn't care who he fights. Another one, you know. Kyle's got a lot of MMA experience, and he has had some amateur boxing experience, but not a lot. Again, he's fighting Scott Aitken from Leeds, who's had 2 bouts and won 1. This is Kyle's professional debut, and normally it'd be you know, you'd be going in with somebody that hasn't won any, but you know, we're going in there, and I've had a look at him, don't get me wrong, on Kyle's definitely got a good chance of winning this one, and then, again, it looks like a really exciting contest. And then for us, the last one will be Jamie Humble v Ben Mulligan. You know, another debutant for fighting chance. Jamie's very exciting fighter and a classy southpaw. We'll look and see where he comes from. He's been doing some great work and some great sparring with Mark White. It's great to have 2 lads around about the same weight in the gym so they can work off each other. Jamie's fighting Ben Mulligan, who's had 11 contests. So yet again, another tough contest for Jamie. And as I say, every fighting chance has got a fighting chance fighter has got a tough fight on the night, so we'll have to be exciting. I cannot, you know, the training camp has gone brilliant. They've worked so hard, you know, they've been dedicated in the gym, and that's all we can ask for. You know, and we're going out there with a 50-50 chance, and we're happy with it. Yeah. Nice to see John Dickinson, British Lonsdale belt holder here. WBU's silver belt holder and English champion and prize fighter champion. Yeah. Being at top. Sorry. And pure legend. One of the nicest lads in boxing, without a doubt. One of the nicest lads in boxing, and had a great career. And it's been an honour for me to work with him. He's just come back from he's just there having broke his jaw in his last fight. But thanks very much for turning up, John. Thanks a lot.
And then we've got a small matter of Peter Cope and Abdon Caesar as well, headlining. And again, I think it's kind of in keeping with the show. You know, Peter Cope Senior wanted to take the tougher route, as he said last time out. Both experience. You know, Abdon has got a great amateur pedigree in terms of going to the Olympic Games, and Peter has got, you know, arguably you know, as good a record in both the pro and amateur sector. So I think it's a bit of a crossroads and an opportunity for Peter to step up and show what level he's actually at. And he's been sort of there or thereabouts over the last few years, and I think this is the opportunity now for Peter to really step on and start to win those major honours and obviously get past it. So I'll start with you, Peter. How do you see the fight going? What's your thoughts on the contest as such?
I think it'll be an awkward fight, certainly early on, because he looks quite flighty, amateurish still. But I just see Peter Cope win, and that's as long as that happens on Saturday, I'm not bothered.
Have you done anything different then in terms of preparing for Abdon? Is there anything specifically that you've looked at or thought that you want to adapt? Or
We've trained quite differently, quite a lot different, to be honest. I think he's not your typical English pro. He's quite flighty, he moves a lot, and he's awkward more than anything. So I need to break him down. I've got 8 rounds to do it.
Yeah. Okay, and prediction?
Peter Cope win, like I said.
Okay. Yeah, just in terms of obviously one of the main bout sponsors, NSL will be the headline bout sponsor for the evening as well. So I know they've been helping you out.
Yeah, massively. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the main thing. I'll run down the table just in terms of some of the questions that I had for some of the other guys on the bill. Obviously, some of the lads aren't here. If we start with the brown bomber, that's the TK. So, what have you seen much of this opponent? You know, I know
I've just been told.
Yeah, it's been
about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Just been told one fighting house. Obviously, it's been changed from yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it because obviously he's unbeaten as well. So I'm always looking for a tough challenge. So it's not going to be me who's always going to be going. So I've got to be going in there. It's going to be another explosive night, definitely. All I've got to do is try and pick my shots. Don't be trying eager, letting shots on the gloves. We've got to land shots on the target. Yeah. So I'm still learning, getting there. And to be honest, I really can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
So what's the end this year for you, TK? What's the
And for this year, like what old man has promised for me, it's going to be Northern Area title in December. So all I've got to do is put in the hard graft.
You're in against Ronnie. Area title.
Put in the hard graft for this Saturday, then another show in September. Then fingers crossed, like he has promised, Northern Area title fight in December, which I'm looking forward to.
Excellent. Anybody in your sights? Anyone you want to take on in particular, or?
Obviously, James Bonds has dropped down to light heavy, so it's gone. Michael Dixon or Hughesy, whoever, I'm ready. Okay. To be honest, yeah.
Excellent. Good man. Jamie Jones on the end there. We'll go with yourself. Obviously, looking at your opponent, probably same question. Have you seen much of them?
Yeah, I had a little browse last night. He's a big lad, very awkward, very tough, but very slow. I think that'll clash with my style, and I think it'd be quite easy to hit. But like Ronnie said, he's had 29 fights and he's a veteran, so he's going to be very, very tough, and it's going to be a matter of breaking him down and, like TK says, choosing my shots and making sure that I'm listening to me coaches, who have given us a fantastic camp, and we've worked on a lot of the things that I did wrong the first time. So I can't really see any, as long as I put those things into play, I can't say anything other than a good result for myself.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, I think it's very similar to what you had last time in the sense of it might smother your work and come on. So I think it's important that you get that right.
Yeah, well, footwork's played a big factor in the camp this time, and I'll be hard to catch on Saturday night.
Okay, Whitey, your opponent. Obviously, so far so good. a few wins under your belt. What's the hopes for you so far? Where do you see yourself panning out over this next year?
I'd just like to say thanks to my sponsors, Hanlon Pub and Burley. But I'm expecting a tough fight. Let's say I put the training in, and I want a good test. And that lad there gives a good test.
Yeah, 53 fights.
He's got a lot of experience, but I've put the training in, and I've got the tools to do the job. So yeah.
So you're looking. What's your prediction then? No predictions?
A win for
A
myself.
win for Waddy. And then the two debutants on the end, who one tied in the fighting chance t-shirt and the other one just didn't bother to put his on, so it's alright.
Didn't have one.
So Jamie, obviously making your pro debut on Saturday. You've got a live opponent. What's your thoughts?
I haven't really seen anything about them. There's nothing on like YouTube and stuff about them, so just have to take it as it comes. So it's put in front of you. Just gotta do your best.
So what's your style? What can people expect to see from you? What's
flash yourself more really. So
yeah?
can't let them chat.
Gonna back that up, yeah. Okay, excellent. Kyle, same sort of thing from yourself, really. Have you had a look at your opponent?
No, I don't think so. It's been changed sort of last minute anyway. But I'm just going to go out and do my job, what I need to do. Just nice, keep pressure fight. You know what I mean? Put it on him.
Yeah.
Hopefully get the stoppage and get paid for it. And yeah.
That was my next question. So what you predict? Are you looking for a stoppage? Or?
The sooner the better, isn't it? You know what I mean?
You don't get paid overtime there.
You do get paid.
Okay, right, thank you very much. Okay, so I'll just to summarise there, just to finish off, a massive thanks to everyone who helps us put the show together. A lot of people that do a lot of fantastic work behind the scenes. It's great working with Peter Cope, it's great working with Mal Gates, with obviously our team, with Ronnie and Gary, Chris, Nathan, Tom, all the guys who put the effort into to help make the show what it is. Big thank you to Peep Magazine for coming out and supporting us and continuing to profile North East boxing. Great job, and I think that's the more we can all work together, the better. We do have as the main TV sponsor Below the Belt Grooming, so there'll be some free products for you guys as well on the night, so you can test that out and have a look at that. But we are, it's something different. Google Below the Belt Grooming and have a look at it. But to be fair, we couldn't put on these types of shows without big headline sponsors and people who help us. So hopefully that becomes a lasting partnership where we can start to put on more shows and do more live TV as well, because that's the ambition for everybody to get on big shows and get paid. So that's the hope. I'd like to thank Portland Consulting Engineers as our main event sponsor for the evening, and also Drone Science for providing a lot of the graphic and artwork as well, because again without them we wouldn't be able to do what we need to do. As I said before, NSL are the main bout sponsor for Peter Cope's contest, so a massive thank you for them. And also JSB Metals, who are looking after what some of the lads are going to be a sponsor in there on the evening as well. So and as Mark said before, we've got the Hanlon. I mean, I could sit here and go on forever in terms of sponsors. I don't think there's anybody I've missed. But we're just eternally grateful for everyone who puts their hand in the pocket and helps make boxing what it is, because without them the sport wouldn't exist. So, as I say, doors open at 6:30. Get yourselves in for 7:30. There's going to be a reality TV show here. It's going to be a little bit different, something that people won't expect. We're gagged, we're not allowed to say what that is, but it will be exciting, it will be fun and very, very different. So come in, have some fun, enjoy it, and then obviously 8 quality contests and a title fight to top it off. And that's pretty much everything I've got to say.
Can I just ask you to see if you can get Kanga underwear to sponsor next time, because I'm over 60 and it's come and like below the belt's no good for me. I'm past all of that stage.
Listen on that, Are you open for a few questions?
Obviously anyone who wants to ask any questions.
I'll first of all start. Kyle, first of all, congratulations, becoming a dad.
Yeah, thank you.
How's that sort of affected your preparation in the last few days, and how's that affected your mindset?
It's hard work, but like you said, most of my hard training has already been done now, so it's just a matter of going in there, getting the job done now, get myself just sharpening up now, so ready to go.
And do you think that turning over boxing was always going to be inevitable, or just a sort of a surprise to have your
It's sort of stuck between the two at one point, so but it's like say boxing to swayed over to boxing, and it seems like it's the best choice that I've made really towards my career and that, so hopefully it'll be a bright future for us in boxing.
Question for Peter Cole. Or was I throwing the other one there, your way?
Yeah.
You've had a few fights lined up this year.
Yeah.
So we've talked about it at length, how the one after the other's fallen through. It's fight week now. Everything's looking good, like it's going to be going ahead. How are you feeling now? Are you fully confident the fight's going to go ahead? Is the preparation going the way you'd like it to, obviously, as opposed to stopping training and taking over? And
Yeah, well, when the last one got called off, I had a week off training, to be honest, just because I trained for like 3 months for that one, so I had a week off and then I've just ticked over, so I've been fit all year because of these fights that haven't come off, so it's gone really good. I'm looking forward to it.
Tell your dad he can't ring us anymore, because every time he rings me I keep getting his foot out and going, I'm not answering this, he's telling me.
And just to add to that, Peter, how important is this contest really for your career overall? Of course, you've had those sort of few domestic level fights, but how important is this fight to sort of try and propel back on? What if there's a loss as well?
Well, I wouldn't say it's make or break for me, but I don't really see where I can go if I lose, to be honest, on Saturday. And I don't really want to just run about and earn money. I want to be in big fights and title fights, and so it's a must-win fight. It's as simple as that.
And TK, obviously you've had a change of opponent, as we often get coming up to fight week, but obviously your opponent is 1-0?
He's 1-0, so I've just been told by the old man. He's unbeaten as well, so he's only had the one fight, and we're going to have a good chat in the gym tonight, see what obviously the plan. We've trained overall for anyone southpaw, orthodox, the whole thing, and obviously just a few. Obviously, he's going to put some plan behind this and see what's. And you're going to see the outcome on Saturday. Just make sure you be there.
I'll be there. Just touching on that as well. I remember when you first signed with Fighting Chance. Obviously, you had there was a bit of a crossover between you and Ronnie, with obviously your trainer down there with the Forces. And at the time, you called him the wise man. But since then, it's sort of morphed into
He's still the old wise man. I've always got respect for Ron. He's got always time for all the lads in the gym. Looks after us well. And him and Lewis as well. Thanks a lot for putting the show together. And the boys, to be honest, the boys are going to put on an explosive show for Saturday night.
I'll just explain that one if you don't mind.
Yeah, please.
The old man in army terms means the boss.
The boss,
I don't care, so I'm the gaffer. It's any cheek in to get that.
So you're 45 years old, doesn't come into it at all?
Nothing to do with it. And, you know, take that kangaroo underwear thing away.
Just Jamie Jones for me, I know your opponents have been stopped in his 29 fights. Do you think you'd be the first to do it, or just valuable rounds?
Nah, it doesn't matter. I don't even know what level of opponent he's been in with, really. No, that doesn't really faze us at all. He's had a few wins, and he's done all right. Apparently he's been in with some high level opposition. But no, I'm just going to do what I do. Come out explosive, but obviously use my footwork a lot better. Try not to smother my work, because I think I was unlucky not to get a stoppage in the last contest. But a big stoppage on Saturday would be massive for me, because I'll be looking myself next year to push on for some domestic titles as well. Once I've started building my reputation up a little bit. But like I said, I've just got to do as I'm told, which I'm always willing to do. Just keep the hard graft up, and I'll always get the results.
One last question for the old man, the boss. You're at a stage now.
Get a t-shirt with that one.
You're at a stage now where you're stepping the lads up, you're giving them challenges, which is the right thing to do to prepare them for when they're going to be going into title fights. What are you expecting from the lads on Saturday night? What sort of statements are you expecting from the lads?
Well, basically, you know, as I say, I mean, Gary's worked with them, you know, well in the gym. there's obviously whatever happens in any training camp, there's little bits of niggles, there's little bits of this, that, and the other. Coming towards the end of the training camp is the important part of it. And you know, we're felt, and you know, this was sort of, we've made a conscious decision and said, you know, we believe that there's a lot of potential here, you know, and this is the right step for that potential to move on. And it's no good just getting them win after win, and you're not being fair to the public. You know, Fighting Chance want to be fair to the public, getting Peter on and bringing, you know, as an organisation, Fighting Chance, obviously we'll bring in other gyms, and we'll want that type of attitude, the gym with that attitude, to come along with us, you know. Peter Starter is one of my, you know, is a very, very close friend of mine of many, many years, and Alan Temple is a very, very close friend, as you know. And that's a type of shows we want to put on, that, you know, meaningful shows with meaningful fights. And what will be, will be. If these give 100%, I am absolutely sure they'll win. If you know, it's up to stepping up to the plate. What this is about, you know, it's a professional game, and they've got to be good enough. It's as simple as that. And we believe that these have worked hard, and with these opponents, they are good enough. But there's nobody got to walk over in these fights, not one. And that's the way they will want it. It's as simple as that.
I suppose obviously when you're managing a number of fighters' careers, you've got to get the right challenges at the right time, haven't you?
Yeah, and obviously it's with a young lad or whatever, you don't want to step somebody in over the head, and we're not in the game of travelling about and just taking any fight. And as Peter said there, we're not there. If it was there for the money, I would be doing my other job in the fire service or whatever, doing something, I'll make a lot more money at that. I'm not there for the money, we want the glory for these lads, and they understand the situation that, you know, it's tight to run a show, to be able to make it work, you know, and if it wasn't for the bits of sponsorship we wouldn't be able to make it work. But whatever the level that they get to, we will push as hard as we can, whether that be somebody winning an aerial title who maybe thought that he couldn't get there. That's a world title to them, and it's a world title to me. You know, we've got a lot over there who's reached all the accolades, absolutely fantastic. And if some of these can aspire to some of them accolades, that's what we're looking at. You know, that's where we come from. You know, as I say, we're level-headed. We know everybody can be a world champion, but if you reach for the sky, you know, at least you've tried for it. At least you've given it your best shot. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to show to get myself a few quid for somebody that's going to get beat. That just ain't in our nature, and it ain't in our game. Yeah.
Good.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Okay, so the lads will be around if you want to do one-on-ones and interviews with them. Obviously, feel free to grab them, and make sure you get here for 6:30 on Saturday. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lewis.
Thanks.